Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Wale O. I make videos about living abroad, moving abroad and travel. If this is your jam, or even if you keep watching all my videos and keep coming back but you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell. And if you also like this video, make sure you give this video a like or a thumbs up so that I know you enjoy this kind of content and I keep bringing you the kind of stuff you like. In today's video, I will be telling you the big mistakes and the things you should absolutely not do if you visit Germany, or if you move to Germany, or if you're planning to move to Germany, whatever you're coming to do in Germany, these mistakes you should not make. When I was a newcomer and an Anfänger, English and German. When I was a newcomer, I made some of these mistakes and now I'm like, girl, why? Now I'm an OG and actually I still make some of these mistakes. So am I disqualified for making the video? No. Anyway, so these are the mistakes you should absolutely not make if you are in Germany. But before we get into the video, if you would like to follow me on Instagram and see more tips and tricks about living in Germany, moving abroad and travel, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. It's at Wale O Chronicles. Now, let's get into the video. So, the first thing you should absolutely not do, when you're new in Germany or you're old in Germany and you're still doing these things, which I'm still guilty, is that you should not, absolutely under no circumstances should you make crazy noise in your apartment during the Ruhezeit. So Ruhezeit is like the quiet time, because I don't know how they build the apartments here in Germany, especially the older buildings. You tend to hear like your neighbors upstairs, because like if you live of course in a story building, then you hear your neighbors moving around upstairs and everything. So it's not really very well noise insulated, if you ask me. You hear a lot of, like, sometimes I live in a building where my neighbor upstairs has lots of kids and I can hear them running around and shouting all the time. So this noise rule only applies, this noise rule applies to everybody except children. So children making noise is kind of acceptable, although it still annoys me, but I mean, they're kids, what can you do? Anyway, so you should absolutely not make loud noise in your apartment during the quiet time, and the quiet time is from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. although some people make noise and nothing happens, but I try to be quiet around this time. One time I made noise in my apartment during the non-Ruhezeit, so I made noise in my apartment during a normal time where you are allowed to make noise, and I got into a situation with my previous neighbor. And that video, this story time, is in the video I talked about being black in Germany. So you should watch that video. Like, I think it's being black in Germany, one of those videos there. Yeah, I talked about the whole story time, so I don't want to repeat it in this video. But making noise in your apartment during the quiet time, it's a big no-no, and you can get into a massive fight like I did with your neighbor. Another thing you should absolutely not do, and people hate it so much, and sometimes I forget myself, I still do this, I'm cringing, I don't know why, I need help. Do not stand on the bicycle path in Germany, or you will get run over and crushed by a bicycle rider. They have no mercy. Like, if you're like, somebody can slam you out of the way while you're standing on the bicycle path. And sometimes I really forget, and maybe I'm like talking as usual and I forget myself, I'm laughing like a clown, and I realize, oh shit, I'm standing in the bicycle way and somebody's coming, like, I'm like, oh my god, I have to get out of the way. So don't do it. Don't stand in the bicycle way. Don't be that tourist. Don't be that foreigner. Don't be that newcomer in Germany. Just don't do it. Another thing you should not do when you move to Germany, this is especially for people who move to Germany and not just people who are visiting. When you move to Germany, every single letter that you receive from any official body or government office or bank or whatever, keep the letter. These people love sending letters. I don't know why. Maybe they never heard about emails or something, but digitization hasn't really reached Germany that much yet, so you will receive a lot of letters. And in the beginning, as a newcomer, you really don't know how important some of these letters are, and then you throw them away. Big mistake. Don't do it. Keep all the letters. Actually, in fact, moving to Germany starter pack make sure you buy a folder and a binder. I have a couple of them in my apartment now, so that you can properly file all the letters that you receive, because you will receive a ton of them, and who knows, in 5 years somebody might just ask you for a letter and refer to a letter they sent to you 5 years ago, and then you're like, oh my god, where did I even live 5 years ago, you know? I've moved so many times, even just in one city. Like, I'm thinking, oh my god, where did I even live when I first moved to Germany? So when you move to Germany, every single letter you receive from any official body or any company or whatever, please file this letter and keep it, because you might need it some years down the line, and they will refer to it and you will be looking for this letter. So keep the letters and don't throw them away. Another thing you should not do in Germany, and this is for my African brethren, don't stop by at people's houses without an appointment. Honestly, like for me, even before I moved to Germany, while I was still living in other countries, like even when I was still living in my home country, it was a big no-no for me. If you come to my apartment without like us having an appointment, or without talking to me about it beforehand, I will not open the door. I'm not at home. So already this was already a part of me. But for people who are just moving to Germany, or who are just moving out of their home countries, or moving to the Western country for the first time, don't go to people's houses without an appointment. As a matter of fact, when people's bells ring in Germany, well, except it's the postman or the mailman, like if somebody on a weekend, for example, you're not expecting anybody, and I'm guilty of this, and your bell rings, you're like tiptoeing to the balcony and like checking, like who, like you look at yourself like, hey, who's ringing my bell? Like, it's a strange thing for people to ring your bell unexpected, and you're wondering who is that. So there is no showing up, there is no spontaneous rendezvous, there is no, like, you have to make an appointment for everything. Even seeing your friend, you have to make an appointment. Don't do spontaneous, there's no spontaneous meeting with anybody. Like, you have to book ahead before time. Actually, now I'm so guilty of this. Like, I always schedule meetings with my friends like months, not months, sorry, that's not true, weeks ahead. So I'm like, yeah, okay, can we hang out on the 27th of March around like 2 p.m. Are you free? Maybe check your calendar, so we can both block our calendars, you know. Every meeting, even with friends and everything, is planned and appointment related. Another thing you should absolutely not do in Germany is addressing strangers with the informal du. So if you're a native English language speaker, or you speak English, in English we do not have different forms of you. We just have you. You is you, whether in a formal situation or an informal situation. However, in Germany, there are different forms of you when you're addressing somebody. So when you are addressing a friend, you can use du, which is informal form of you. And if you're addressing someone you don't know, or someone that is a bit more hierarchy, or it's a more formal situation, or a stranger that you don't know, you use Z. So Z is a more formal way of addressing someone, and a bit more Abstand, like a bit more distance than saying du. So some people actually use du for strangers, and you can already tell for Germans, their faces like, why are you saying du to me? We don't know each other. So that's an absolute no-no, like especially in official settings or corporate settings where it's very, very hierarchical. Then you should not use du for people you don't know. Always use Sie when you're speaking German. So Sie, you, du, you for your friends, Sie, you for people you don't know and formal situations. Another thing you should absolutely not do in Germany is not having cash when you go out. I know this is like a bit like, what are you talking about? But for people that come from cashless societies where it's quite the norm to pay things with cards and everything, it becomes a bit strange when in Germany you always have to have cash on you, because many shops, bars, restaurants, bakeries, many of these shops, it's quite normal to actually say cash only. They have a like cash policy only, and you cannot pay with card. So initially when I moved to Germany, this was quite strange for me, because I'm so used to not having cash on me. I always pay everything with card, and I'm still not used to it actually, because most of the time I don't have cash on me. So it seems like many things on this list, even though I'm no longer such a newcomer in Germany, I'm still kind of guilty doing it, because I always have to remind myself to get cash when I need something, Anyway, don't be like me. Always have cash on you when you go out so that you're not stuck in a restaurant where they do not accept card and then you have no cash on you and it's like, damn, I gotta wash plates for 2 hours. Please, 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 this you should not do. When you're putting a box in a recycling bin, so like a paper box or a cardboard box or whatever box, you know what I'm talking about, do not put the box whole into the recycling bin. Always dismantle the box before putting it into the recycling bin, because this putting the box whole really upsets Germans. I've seen it firsthand, and the person I've seen doing this will be watching this video, I'm sure. It really gets on this person's nerves, and it's like, why are people not dismantling? It's the rules, you have to dismantle the box and put it inside the recycling box, otherwise there's no space for other people to put them. So just don't annoy the Germans. Dismantle your box, unravel it before putting it into the recycling bin. Capish? Alright. This point is also quite interesting because I spoke about it in my previous videos about finding an apartment in Germany and my Germany apartment horror stories, this video and this video here. If you have not seen it, go and watch those videos. Anyway, this point is that when you are looking for an apartment, do not expect that every single apartment will have a built-in kitchen. So one of the interesting things about apartments in Germany is that not all apartments come with a built-in kitchen. So you're expected to bring your kitchen when you're coming into the apartment, which is quite, I still find it strange even till this day. Because for me, it doesn't make any sense to build an apartment and not put a kitchen in there. It's not like having a kitchen is optional. It's the same thing as a bathroom and a toilet. Like bathroom and toilet is not optional. So why is kitchen kind of optional? I really don't get it. But don't expect that every single apartment will have a built-in kitchen. Some apartments, especially the newer apartments, come with a built-in kitchen, but many apartments do not come with a built-in kitchen. So you most likely have to buy a kitchen yourself and install it, or you have to buy a kitchen from the person who is moving out, and it is not cheap. So I don't know why. Just don't expect that every apartment that you will get has a built-in kitchen. This one is quite cliche because everybody says it, but it's true, and it's not only specific to Germany alone, but many other German-speaking countries actually, because I know the Swiss are like that as well. But I will say it once again because this list will not be complete if I do not mention it. Please, 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 please. If you're from other parts of the world where time has a subjective meaning, don't come late. Just be punctual when Germans give you, or in Germany in general, not only Germans, in Germany, when people give you appointments, please show up on time. Ideally, you should show up for an appointment 5 minutes, that's the ideal, 5 minutes before the time of the appointment, so that you can wait outside, hang around outside, and then when it's time on the dot, you ring the bell and go for your appointment. Or even if you will be late, you should, 5 minutes late is okay, 10 minutes is kind of okay, pushing it, but like 30 minutes, 1 hour, like, no, don't do that. Don't make people wait for 30 minutes, 1 hour. I would never wait for you for 30 minutes, 1 hour. Except, oh, there's my one friend that does it for me, but I think she has changed now because the first time she did it for me, I made her pay for all the drinks. So anyway, make sure you do not keep people waiting. Always be punctual if you're moving to Germany, or if you're doing anything in Germany, or you're visiting Germany. And I think those are all the points I want to talk about in this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you watched this video up till this point, in the comment section, leave this comment, white flowers, referencing the flower on my head, so that I know that you watched this video up till this point. And I love you very much for watching this video up till this point. You are the real MVP. And with all that being said, I think that's all about it. Yeah, I will see you in my next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.